Welcome back, sewing friends. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sew a stretch knit binding. This method is one that I commonly use to finish necklines and armholes on stretch knit garments, like the tank top I'm wearing in the photo. This method of finishing an edge works great for stretchy jersey knit fabrics, and I usually like to use a contrasting binding, but depending on the look you're going for, you can use a binding that matches the garment. For the purposes of this video tutorial, I will be showing you the technique on a basic tank top sewing pattern. A couple things I want to note before we get started. First, if you are working from a sewing pattern that has a seam allowance on the neckline and the armholes, go ahead and trim that amount off because we don't need a seam allowance for knit binding. Also, we're going to start with the neckline, and before we apply the binding, you will need to stitch one of the shoulder seams and leave the other one open. Now, let's cut the binding strips. We want to cut these along the greatest stretch of the fabric, which I'm showing you here. On jersey knit fabric, the greatest stretch should run from selvage to selvage across the width of the fabric. The fabric I'm using is 60 inches wide, so I will need to place 2 folds in the fabric to make it small enough to fit underneath my quilting ruler. The first cut I'm going to make is just going to be to square the edge of the fabric so that the strips we cut are nice and straight. The binding strips I'm going to cut are 1.5 inches wide, and I'm going to cut 3 of them, which should be more than enough to finish the tank top. Now, let's head to the serger to start putting the binding on the neckline. Start serging the binding onto the neckline at the shoulder that we left open. We will be placing the right side of the binding facing the wrong side of the neckline. In this step, we don't want to trim anything off, so be careful to serge inside the knife on your machine. Also, we want to place a gentle stretch on the binding strip, but not on the fabric of the neckline. Try to keep the amount of stretch on the binding consistent all the way around the neckline. If you are new to this process, it may be difficult to determine how much stretch to place on the binding during stitching, so I suggest practicing on scraps of fabric first. The important thing here is that you only want to place a tiny amount of stretch on the binding strip. If you are pulling it too tightly, the fabric will get distorted and gather up. As you come all the way around the neckline and approach the other shoulder point, go ahead and cut the binding to trim off the excess that you don't need. Then, serge off the fabric. Now, let's switch to the sewing machine. Working from the outside of the garment, we're going to fold the binding in half twice over the serging that we just made and stitch it down. Explained a different way, we are double rolling the binding to enclose the serging. I'm going to be using a wide zigzag stitch and thread that matches the binding. The hardest part about this step is getting the roll of your binding started, but after that, it should come together pretty easy. I'm rolling the binding so that it just covers the edge of the serging. We want to find this position to keep our binding the same width all the way around the neckline. I'm stitching very close to the left edge of the binding, but not onto the fabric of the tank top. A cover stitch or a twin needle stretch stitch can also work great for this step, but I tend to just use a zigzag stitch with matching thread because it's the quickest and the easiest. Here's a look at this step from a different angle. I tend to roll my binding a few inches at a time, section by section, but if you prefer, before you stitch, you can go ahead and pin the binding down or use sewing clips. Continue top stitching all the way around until you reach the other shoulder point. I think this binding adds a very commercial look to your garment, and now we have all the raw edges enclosed. Here is a close-up image showing the completed binding. Please note that we still haven't closed the other shoulder seam yet. That's what we're going to do next. To close the remaining shoulder seam, I suggest starting your stitching at the side that doesn't have the bulk of the binding. As you approach the bulkiness of the binding, your serger knife probably isn't going to want to cut through these, so I suggest using your fabric cutting scissors and snipping a tiny amount off just as the knife would, and then the bulk won't have to run through the serger knife. You may also want to use the point of your scissors to help feed the bulk of the binding under the presser foot so that things are matched nicely. After you finish stitching the seam, make sure you chain off, leaving a long thread chain. Next, I'm going to take the long thread chain that I left and feed it through a large eye needle and stitch it back into the seam a few times to secure the end of the stitching. The last step I'm going to do in binding the neckline is to run a straight stitch back and forth over the seam where the binding meets. This step will help the bulky part lay flat, and it will also reinforce the end of the seam a little bit more. If you are having trouble feeding the bulkiness through your sewing machine, place a folded up index card behind the needle underneath the presser foot, and this will help level out the presser foot so it can stitch over the bulk more easily. And now, the binding on the neckline is complete. Next, we can move on to binding the armholes. Remember, we want to close the seam last, so start applying the binding at one point of the underarm, all the way around the armhole, and stop at the other point of the underarm. I'm going to speed this part up because the steps are same as the neckline. First, serge on the binding without cutting anything off and apply a gentle stretch to the binding while sewing. Then we're going to double roll the binding over the serging and run a wide zigzag stitch over it. Finish the armhole binding just as you did the neckline. First, serge the seam closed, leaving a long thread chain. Then, stitch the thread chain back into the seam with a large needle. And finally, straight stitch over the seam where the binding meets to secure it and flatten the bulk. I hope you found this sewing tutorial helpful, and now that you understand how to sew knit binding, I hope that you will find other places to use it besides armholes and necklines. As always, if you have any questions or need any additional help, please don't hesitate to drop a comment below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can.